we're going to be exploring one aspect, and we're going to dive right in. So this is where you can find me on YouTube. This is my website here, and this is the Facebook group. Down below is contact information if you have a question at another time from the class, or you could always on YouTube, like do a message, you put a comment there, ask a question there. So there we go. Okay, that's fun. My button's not working. It was working before. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the vagus nerve. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the vagus nerve, okay? But the vagus nerve is a highway for communication between the brain down through the body, okay? And this regulates our rest and digest cycles. It's a main component of the parasympathetic nervous system. And what does it do? It controls involuntary functions. It regulates heart rate, blood pressure, supports our digestion, our immune response, and it helps return the body to a calm state. So I'm sure you can see that being the case, that if somebody is upset about something, they're having an issue, there's something went on maybe that was very upsetting, uh, then they might lack the ability to return to a calming state. They might stay upset and have trouble getting themselves to simmer down. So, along with slowing the heart rate, it also helps to regulate breathing rhythms and helps to promote relaxation and recovery. Is Has an effect on our sleep, which our sleep has an effect on our cognitive function and our immune system. Did you ever say, or maybe someone said to you, oh my gosh, I think I'm coming down with something because I haven't been getting enough sleep lately? Well, right there. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're not getting enough rest, that's going to affect your immune system, your body's ability to fight different microbes that come along. So. Digestion and immune support. So the vagus nerve really is important with this too. So it helps to stimulate digestive movement, helps to work things through the digestive system, to break the food down efficiently, helps to control inflammation. So many people talk about, their shoulder, their joints, their knees hurt, their hips hurt, their back hurts. They have inflammation going on throughout their body. And there's many different things that can have a negative effect on that, but sometimes it's because it also has a negative effect on the vagus nerve. So, but some other things that cause inflammation we know are eating inflammatory foods, putting our hands into a bucket of cleaner that has inflammatory chemicals. So, there's many different things that cause inflammation. There's also a good inflammation too. Like if you actually let's say you injured your shoulder today while you were carrying super big boxes, and your body sent um, caused there to be inflammation to help protect that area. So that can happen, but we need to not sustain that inflammation and to bring the inflammation down, okay? So that we don't have pain. Um, so the vagus nerve also helps to support, of course, like I said, the immune system. So brain and body communication, it sends signals from the organs to the brain and back again. It also influences our mood and our emotional regulation. So being really excited, calming down, being upset, calming down, um, and controls reflexes. So if somebody comes up behind you and does something really loud or slams a door and you jump, things like that. So reflexes to stimuli. So now there's things we can do to help the vagus nerve to return and start working better again, to calm, but help to stimulate it in a good way, not overstimulate it, but get it to working appropriately. So some of these things are deep breathing, meditation. Meditation would be um, a lot of people talk about meditation and yoga and things like that. Meditation, prayer is a form of meditation. Okay, so if you do your morning prayer or evening prayer or anything like that, or you stop and pray during the course of the day, something upsets you, and you just, sit there and say a prayer for even a minute or two. Um, that's meditation. Singing or humming is very, very good for our vagus nerve. It's very calming to that system. And cold exposure. So I went with a friend a couple times actually to a spa. Not a regular spa like you get. Well, they did have facials and things like that there, but this spa was just something that I had never been to before when I went a couple years ago, went a few times. So when you go in, you can go to all these different rooms. One of them is a room where it's steamy hot and there's hot water just flowing out of these faucets. And it's just so hot and steamy. And then you can go from there into a room where they have literally ice on the walls and you can sit in there and you get cold, cold, cold. Now you're just so hot now, cold, and then you can go into a another hot room, and then you can jump into a pool of cold water, and so this is very beneficial. But there's some very simple things that you can do in your daily life to help to benefit the vagus nerve. So now, I'm going to mention we're going to use essential oils with these different exercises that you can do so as to increase the benefit of these different exercises. Okay. Now, essential oils, they're safe, they're natural, they have no side effects. They do need to be used responsibly. So when you're looking at your essential oils, look at the first one where there's an A. Okay. If you look on your bottle, then you will see a supplement fact box. And there's your clue that you can use it internally. Then you can also look and see, and it should say whether it's for aromatic and topical use or whether it's for internal use. So always make sure you know that if before you ingest anything, that it is an ingestible essential oil. But we're mostly going to be talking about aromatic and topical use today. And although taking oils internally is very beneficial when called for, that doesn't need to be the only way to have a really positive effect. If you have a stuffy nose, or if you're trying to use it for calming, diffusing can be absolutely fabulous and so beneficial. So the first one would be aromatic. So you can breathe it in by simply putting a drop in your hand, rubbing your hands together, and then cupping your hands in front of your nose and mouth, breathing in, and that is very beneficial for your mind and for your mood. Then also, if you're working with your respiratory system, you can take a hand on top of the palm of your other hand and make like kind of like a tube, and you breathe into your lungs, long, slow, and deep, and that is very beneficial too. Okay, so essential oils do promote a quick response. I've had people put an oil blend digestant on their tummy when their tummy's off, and within a few minutes, they're like I feel fine now. Could that be the oil?" And it's like, yes, it can work very quickly. So essential oils can help people to manage emotions. They are very cost effective because even when you look at a little bottle and you say, "Wow, that's more than I thought it would be," because it's so little, one drop is one application. So there's like over 240 drops in a bottle, which makes most of the essential oils very affordable because that bottle's going to last you a while. Okay. So aromatically would be from your hand or from a diffuser. Topically would be either neat, which means undiluted, or in a roller bottle, which would be diluted with a carrier oil, a non-essential oil. I usually use a liquid coconut oil. You can use many different oils, almond oil, jojoba oil, so on and so forth. So, and then internal, but we're not really going to be talking about internal today because it doesn't really apply too much with what we're covering. So, breathing exercises for the vagus nerve. Now, if you've ever just needed to calm down, a situation or whatever it is, or maybe you feel unnerved and upset, and you're not even sure why. You're just like, I don't know. I'm just kind of off today. I just kind of feel like, a little frazzled. This would be really great for that. Or maybe something happened, but it was an hour ago and you really need to like just chill out. These exercises can help with that type of thing. This is also really great to teach to a friend or a child so that they can help to learn to regulate their emotions too. So these are simple techniques to calm the nervous system. They focus on slow, controlled breathing. They help to support relaxation and stress relief. So we're going to be talking about diaphragmatic belly, in other words, belly breathing, breathing from the belly. Okay. Now you're going to take your oil and you're going to put one drop into the palm of your hand. And if you want to do that along with me, you're certainly more than welcome to. So you can use either lavender or copaiba or adaptive. Now, if you all you have is a basic kit, I believe that you should be able to do everything that's here because um, there you have a choice of using these oils here, and lavender is one of the oils you get in your basic kit. So I forgot to get my regular oils. I just have my roller bottles with me right now. So I'm going to take my lavender, I'm going to put it on my hand like that. Normally, you want to use a drop of the oil because that'll be more effective for breathing in. But you can also apply it to your chest. Okay, you can put the lavender on your chest and a drop on your hand. Okay, and you put one hand on the chest. You're going to put one hand on the belly. I'm going to do it too. Lifted my shirt there. So I put a hand on my belly. Okay. And you're going to breathe in through the nose and you're going to do it very slowly. And your belly should rise. Okay. You should feel your belly move. We're not breathing, you know how you normally puff up your lungs? Well, we're going to be puffing the belly in this particular exercise. Okay. And this helps to signal the vagus nerve and to slow the heart rate. All right, so we're going to breathe in slowly. Now exhale slowly through the mouth. Okay, let's do it again. And I'm going to count. I'm going to count to 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is very calming. Now, if you needed to do this in a place where maybe you couldn't put your hand on your belly because you're at work or something, maybe you can't even put your hand up here on the top of your chest because you just need to kind of chill yourself out on the QT because you're around other people, you can do the breathing without your hands there. Okay. But it is beneficial to put your hands there. It's very calming for the body to feel the hands there. Okay, so here is a picture. So if you want to do it again while you're looking at the picture, and I will call attention to what's going on here so you can see while you breathe in with the drop of either lavender, copaiba, or adaptive, or you can put one or two of these oils into a diffuser nearby while you're doing this. And maybe you're at home and you just came home from somewhere and you're just, you know, a little frazzled. And you're going to put the diffuser on and you're going to do this. Okay. So you're going to breathe in with the one hand on the chest, one on the belly, if possible. Inhale through the nose and the belly will rise like in the picture. And you're going to exhale slowly, let the belly fall. And you're keeping the chest mostly still. So don't stress on that, but you're really keeping it mostly still. Okay. So this actually meant to have this one first, but um so oh no, this one is with this relaxation breathing. Okay. So um the oils that you can use or apply to your chest, or excuse me, the back of your neck or your chest would be the RX or bergamot or balance or breathe. Okay. But if you're diffusing, you can put two of these. Okay. And in your basic kit, you will have breathe. So that'll be the oil that you would use if you only have a basic kit. Okay. So this breathing technique is that you are going to, now I'm going to talk it through. I can't do it with you because there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, um, talking you through it while I'm doing it because I can't talk and do it. So, all right. If you have your oil, okay, you put it on the back of your neck and or your chest. You can do both. Okay. And now, ready? You're going to inhale. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Now you're going to hold for 4 seconds. 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Now exhale for 8 seconds. 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi. Now, if it's hard for you to exhale that slowly for 8 seconds, work up to it. So if you can only exhale for 4 or 5 or 6 seconds, but you can work up to it, and not necessarily in a day, it might take you a couple days or whatever. So if you have stress in your life, you might want to do one or more of these exercises every day and get used to doing them as part of a calming routine. Maybe if you have trouble going to sleep, you could do these exercises. Maybe if you feel like stressed when you get home from work and you want to be more joyful around your family or just more joyful for yourself, uh, all those are good things. So you might want to do it right after you get in, especially if you come home and you're in a bunch of traffic before you get home and you might need that chill out so that you're, going to digest that dinner you're going to have nicely. Okay. Another relaxation technique. You can either diffuse your bergamot, your balance, or your breathe, or you can apply any one of these to the back of the neck or the chest. Now, would it be bad if you applied and diffused? No, that's absolutely fine. So, I wish I could see that. Hold on one sec, everybody. Catching up. There we are. Okay. So, you are going to inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then, of course, you would repeat this. And you could repeat this for like 3 to 5 minutes. Like it, if you can only do it 2 or 3 times because you're at work and you just can't do that, whatever you can do it for is going to be some level of benefit. But doing it for 3 to 5 minutes would be very, very good. So humming humming breath. So apply either frankincense, breathe, or DDR prime. DDR prime is a cellular complex that is primarily frankincense, but has other supportive oils in it. So I absolutely love DDR prime. So it's a very restorative combination. So you can apply one of those, or you can put it one or two in the diffuser. So you're going to inhale through the nose and you're going to exhale while humming. Okay. So inhale through your nose. Whatever hum you want to hum, but just hum it out. Okay. Feel the vibration. Feel the vibration in your chest, feel it in your throat, feel it in your face. This is very beneficial to the vagus nerve and also can help to stimulate sinus drainage. So if this is allergy season coming up for you, this could be another benefit. And if allergies are something common for you at this upcoming season, breathe would really be a benefit. And having breathe in your diffuser while you're sleeping every night is something you absolutely want to do because it makes a huge difference. So, so hum your way to tranquility. Hum while you're driving. Okay, floor exercises. So you're basically on this one, you're going to first you're going to take your oil of choice, your lavender, your balance, or your lemongrass, and you're going to apply your oil to the bottom of the feet. Using a carrier oil would be a really good idea. On the bottom of the feet, it's not absolutely necessary, but you will get more benefit from it if you do that, okay? Because it helps the oil, the essential oil, to be carried in a beneficial way into your body. Okay, so using a carrier oil and applying to the bottom of the feet. And the other option is to diffuse it in the room, which is really great idea too. Okay, and both is absolutely fine. So now you're going to lay on your back at the wall, putting your butt against the wall and your legs in the air. Your arms will be relaxed at your sides. So can you picture that? So you're laying down and your butt will be at the wall. Your butt will be here. So your head is here, your butt is here, and then your legs are going up the wall. All right. And you can do this for 5 to 15 minutes. This improves circulation and it helps to shift the body into the parasympathetic mode. So you're just going to lay there and just be at peace. Maybe you put on something very relaxing on your phone before you do it. Maybe you just listen to nothing, and that might be relaxing. Have your arms at the sides and breathe slowly. Now, you can combine this with one of your breath exercises that we just did, or even your humming if you're feeling like humming at the moment. So, supine twist. So, you're going to apply ginger, peppermint, or digestion. And you can apply this to the bottom of your feet. You can apply it to your lower back. And then what you're going to do is you are going to lie on your back, bring your knees to your chest, then drop them over to the one side, both knees together to the one side, and then turn your head and bring your legs to follow to the other side. And this will help to stimulate digestion and vagus nerve compression. Through gentle compression, excuse me. You're going to hold 1 to 2 minutes each side. So you're going to do this for like 10 to 15 minutes, okay? And you want to just calmly, it's not a back and forth real fast. You do one side and you wait, you do one side and you wait. And then um, this is great to put on like a relaxing podcast or some relaxing music to do this too. Child's pose. Some people are opposed to doing yoga moves. This is a yoga move. Um, you're welcome to pray while you're doing this. You're welcome to just think about whatever music you put on, to just relax. Um, as women, being that this is mostly women, as women, we have a hard time thinking of nothing. I have a really hard time thinking of nothing. There's always something going on in my head unless I'm asleep, in which case there probably is still something going on. So, um, putting on maybe some type of meditation, Bible verses, something that is calming and soothing to you would be a good idea. And so, what you're going to do is you are going to take either your balance or your serenity, and you are going to apply that. And I didn't even say that there. I said diffuse, right? So, and you could also diffuse if you have the Console. The 5 ml bottle of Console is another good one, but the balance and serenity are great for this. So, and you can also apply to the bottom of the feet as well as diffuse in the room. So you're going to kneel on the floor and then you're going to put your rear end onto your feet, more or less. You're going to sit back onto your heels. And then you're going to reach forward and rest your head on the floor. Now, resting the head on the floor is very calming to the nervous system. Okay. So then you're going to have your arms reaching forward, not in a strenuous way, but you're going to reach your arms forward. Then, so if you think about this for a moment and you think if you have children and or even niece or nephew. And if they've ever been not feeling well or tired or upset, and maybe you saw their mom, or if you're their mom, that you put that they put their hand on their forehead when they were holding them if they were upset. And if you have never done that as a mom and you have small children, that can be really beneficial. So, as they're curled up kind of like on your lap or maybe in the crook of your arm and they're really upset, they're beside themselves, to just really gently put your head on their forehead. It can be very soothing to them and help to calm them. Okay. So by resting your head on the floor like that, it tells the nervous system to calm down while you're having that pressure. Because when you put your head on the floor, you're going to have a little pressure there, right? Um, it tells the nervous system it's okay and to calm down. So, so this is some ways that we can incorporate essential oils into helping to benefit the vagus nerve, which has to do with so many of these just different systems in our body. And so when we're talking about trauma, because that was what people were asking a lot about. Now we're going to do basically a couple weeks of mental health, and so because there was so many requests for mental health topics that I thought I should break it down. So if you have a child who, most children have ups and downs, right? I mean, I know mine did, right? But if you have a child who has different learning disabilities or challenges, or maybe is on the spectrum and they need to learn how to calm down, you can mirror this with them. And you can say, you know what? It's a really rough day today. Maybe we need to calm down. Would you like to do this with me? And you sit right across from them and you do it with them and you talk them through it. Because if you teach them this coping skill, then they'll be able to do that. Um, it was very cute. One of my grandchildren was really upset one day, and I stopped them and I was like, I can see you're really upset. When I'm upset, I do this. And I showed the child how to do it and how to calm them down by the the slow breathing. So we did in for 4 and out for 8. And oh my goodness, it was very cute. I was visiting the next time and they had a moment. They were upset with their sibling. And then they went over and they sat down. And I said, "Are you okay?" They were like, "I'm doing my breathing." And so it obviously had worked for them. And they told me later that they had been doing it when they were having moments that they were frustrated with their siblings, and it was helping a lot.